LCFR, our regular Saturday program on Orisunayo Radiotv, and I'm your regular host, Bukola Ejade. I want to welcome you to another fresh edition of this program this evening, and I know you are ready for us, and I'm happy to have my guests also. Like I said, the month of November is our gender-based violence awareness month as an organization. The acronym is ELSI, and it's a not-for-profit, non-partisan organization. It's a non-government organization, and our thematic areas are basically three. We have good health and well-being, quality education, and gender issues. And so today we want to talk about the SDG 5 on gender issues. Like I said, we are in our gender-based violence awareness month, and I have my very wonderful guest. Is my boss, is my brother, and a very good friend too. So when we come back from this short break, I will introduce my guest. Okay, so welcome back. Now, if you are joining us, this is LCFR. LCFR is an acronym. LC is an acronym of Health Heritage Life Support Initiative, a not-for-profit organization based there in Osogbo, Osun State. And like I said I have a beautiful guest in the house, my darling brother and my leader too. So he's going to introduce. Good evening, Prof. Leader, friend.
Good evening, ma.
How are you this evening, sir?
I'm very, very fine, ma.
It's good to have you on this program.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for all you are doing in the development world. We celebrate you so much, sir. So, can you briefly give us a brief about yourself?
Yes, I'm Isaac Adeyewo, the facilitator of Modekeke Foundation of Nigeria, an organization that is also a civil society organization, an organization that advocates for gender-based violence. We also advocate for child rights of the children in our state. We do sensitization among the secondary school students. We do sensitization among privileged women. We are into what we call CIRU, Corrective Institute for Image Reformation Objective, which is to the prison inmate. We go there on a monthly basis to sensitize the inmate, to let them know that their orientation, whatever that brought them to the prison, might be changed, and have a very good orientation about life. Then we also do a program called Well, streamlining down to widows, because the widows are seriously they are facing a lot of challenges that make us to put them in our priority and give them so many incentives needed by them. Sometimes we train them and empower them on how to do some things on their own. We give them the privilege to choose a particular skill to acquire, and we go for that training. Recently, we went for a program at the Akinalu where we trained close to 250 women. Wow. And we trained them on how to make a quality liquid soap. Wow. And some of them are interested in doing it as a trade. Wow. So we also have a program called Skill Acquisition Program. It's for everyone, all our beneficiaries. These are little work we are doing.
That's very good, so amazing. Much, well done, sir. God bless you. Amen. Thank you so much. So today, like I said, is our GBV Awareness Month, and today our topic is gender-based violence and human rights. Last week we had a very wonderful guest here, Mrs. Fumilayo Abdullahi, special needs. So today, still under gender-based violence, we want to talk on gender-based violence and human rights.
That question is so great, and it's a complex question. So it's called GBV, and so many people give it different kind of name. But gender-based violence is an umbrella term for any harmful act that is perpetrated against a person. Please, I like to underline that a person, okay, for any harmful act that is perpetrated against a person, a person's will, and that is based on socially ascribed gender. Most often it's toward the women. Different between males and female. This one is basically on females. So it includes acts that inflict physical, sexual or mental harm or suffering, threat of such acts, coercion, and other deprivation of liberty. All these acts can occur in the public or in the private.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So that our viewers at home can relate very well with it. Now, when you were talking, I picked some things. The first thing I picked there is that it's a violence against any form of gender, even though the majority has to do with the female gender, isn't it? Then you also talked about violence not being physical alone.
Yes.
That's a very major in there. You talked about emotional. Did I hear emotional?
Yes.
Or is it psychological? You said something that is
Physical, sexual, or mental harm.
or mental. Yes, yes. You also talked about coercion.
Yes.
All right. So all these are terms that are related to GBV. That's very good. Thank you. Like I said, the topic for today is gender-based violence and human rights. What are the causes of gender-based violence?
Oh, thank you so much again. We are living in a society where many people believe that the causes of gender-based violence is so enormous. But presently here with me today, I have a very good list of the causes of gender-based violence. And let me be precise with you. I think I would like to start like this. Number one, we have one cause that is very, very common in our custom here. I call it patriarchal cultural belief.
Hello, sir. What do you call it?
Patriarchal cultural belief.
Okay.
You know, in our days here in Yoruba land, one of the things that we believe so much is that a younger person must respect an elderly person. And that respect ideology has sent to subconsciousness of all the younger one that even when the elderly people having the belief that they must continue to respect that elderly person, it's a cultural belief, it's a patriarchal belief that when an elderly person is coming and a younger one sees the person, he must stand up to give it respect. When an elderly person slap you when it is not called for, you dare not slap back. So it's one of the patriarchal cultural belief, because today a father giving a sexual advances to his daughter and putting a prayer on the daughter that he dare not talk, and the guy will also be in a situation whereby he has to be respecting his father, a cousin, a teacher. So there is this respect ideology that is serving as a kind of oppression on all the younger one, not to talk out, not to speak out, not to raise their voices against the leader. And I think the earlier the better. The respect has to be observed, but the day an elderly person, a father, a teacher, a pastor, anybody, a lecturer, start to put a sexual advances against a younger person, I think that is the day that respect should die. And that is why I am here to seriously attack that patriarchal cultural belief. It is so rampant among our Yoruba people here. They don't want to disrespect an elderly person.
I think generally in African countries.
Yeah, it's common here in Yoruba land. Let's just stay here in Yoruba land. Because if I, as an husband now, a father I am, if I take sexual advances to my daughter, I will tell her not to tell anybody. I will tell her not, and she dare not, because she also want to respect. And that is why we must let this respect ideology go away. Go away, that respect ideology. The moment anybody, an elderly person, either a teacher, a lecturer, a pastor, puts forward a sexual advances, that is the day that respect of that person die. That is what I come here to make sure that I stand warning to all the younger ones. The day you see anybody, be whosoever it is, a professor, your father, your lecturer, putting
your pastor, your imam,
putting the sexual advances to you, that is the
your
day
brother
you slap
around
that person.
the community,
shout on the person, tell the whole world that is a mad person. He has turned mad, even if it is your father. And so that is number one patriarchal cultural belief that I want to really talk about. Then number two, I think the issue of poverty is an issue. It's a gender-based violence. It's a reflection of an extreme poverty level that is going on all over the world today. Gender-based violence is a reflection of an extreme poverty. When you as a father, you are married to one woman, and you have 4 children. There's nothing to provide for them to eat at home, and the two of them, the couple, they are not working anyway, and they have 4 children. How do we care for these children? So the level of poverty causes a physical assault, physical combat between the couple every day. And that is why, by the time, if it is a woman that is working and earning very good salary every time, so there is a poverty level. And another one is hunger.
Okay.
When a woman is not eating very well, he will demand from her husband. When a woman is not eating, when the children are not even eating very well, they will ask their father and their mother to prove, that there is nothing at home. And all this amount to gender-based violence. The father will say, shut up your mouth, and all sorts of words come from the father or the mother when they are not providing what they're supposed to, the major 3 square meter. So I also have the belief that places where there is war or community clashes also causes gender-based violence. Community where there is war or community clashes also lead to gender-based violence. How? Sometimes you will notice that they would send the security operative to that place to bring peace back to that community. And as a result of that, all the security operatives, they will start to molest the female around, the women, and it will become very difficult for them.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Let's go on a short break, and when we come back, continue. All right, so a short break. I still have my guest in the studio, Pastor Isaac Adeyemo of the Mordecai Care Foundation of Nigeria. Pastor, what is the difference between GBV and human rights? I want to ask a twin question now. Between GBV and human rights, and I want you to briefly enumerate what your organization is doing in the fight against GBV.
Okay.
Via upholding the human rights of the people in our communities.
Thank you very much, ma. I'm so honored for the invitation today. Let me quickly address the 2 questions. You've asked me 2 questions. Number 1, you said that what is the relationship between the gender-based violence and woman rights? Well, let me start by saying, according to United Nations Human Rights, every woman has right to respect for her life, as well as for her physical, mental integrity on equal basis with men. There is a United Nations right for everybody, and that United Nations human right goes down to different countries where citizens are, and they are already standing as a law. Apart from the fact that our country, Nigeria, has their own human rights for everybody. The United Nations human rights supersede our country one, and that of our country is majorly for the citizen. Now, when anyone is violated, the United Nations right as an international body protect such person, even though the country right also protect. So when you talk about human right and gender based,